Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and welcome back to another episode of my sports podcast. For today, we have Anthony. He was a guest last season, and we've been talking throughout the season. Kevin Chutch as well, and he's back on, and we're going to talk sports. So, Anthony, thanks for joining me. Thank you for coming back on.
Yep, happy you're recording. So
Yeah,
I'm happy that we're not going 15, 20 minutes deep and
yeah,
having to start over. So
yeah, for sure. So, gonna cover a couple things today. Of course, Super Bowl recap, talk about Aaron Rodgers, quarterbacks, a bunch of stuff. But always start off with NFL Wordle. Okay, so we didn't do it last time, I don't believe. So let me
we
go
didn't.
ahead.
No.
Let me share my
You know what's funny is I
screen.
never knew of NFL Wordle until I started watching your podcast. So I've been doing it since I discovered it through you. So that was
Nice.
a good find. I
Okay.
would say one thing that was irritating me when I first started doing it is that it wasn't fully updated.
Ah.
So like it would be pulling people who aren't even on those teams anymore, so that got frustrating. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty up to date now.
Uh. Okay. Why can I not click here? What's going on? You can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let me actually focus this here. Okay. Why can I not? What is going on? It's like not letting me
Did you already do
click.
it and you didn't realize you did it?
No. Okay. It's only gonna let me do the easy mode for some reason.
That's
Um.
fine.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you pick the first name here.
Let's just start with the good old Bo Nix. See
All
where we go
right.
from there.
Bo Nix. Boom. Okay.
Okay.
They are 24.
Yep.
They are 24. They're not in the AFC, and they're not a quarterback.
Uh, higher number than 10, and they're bigger than 6'2".
But they're close.
Yeah. Um,
Justin Jefferson? How old is
let's try
he?
Jettas. I mean JJ. I know Bo is like an
Rookie.
old rookie, but I
Yeah.
think JJ is probably like 24 to be honest. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Let's put him in.
Let's try
Oh, sorry.
if no, I'll good try it.
Okay. Ah, damn. Okay. All right. So, jersey number is still older. So it's
So
not
he's in the
the.
NFC North.
Yeah. No, he's not in the NFC North. He's in the NFC, but not the NFC North.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So we
Young
have. But they're not a receiver.
24. Yep.
So it could be running back. I think they do tight ends, possibly, but it's not hard mode, so I'm not too sure. A running back that's young.
Yeah,
B-
that's what I was just trying to think of is our young running back in the NFC. And all I could
Bijan
think of
doesn't
is Jameer
wear.
Gibbs, and he's sick. Um, you said what? I'm sorry.
I was saying Bijan, but he wears like a single digit number, right?
Yep, he wears number 7.
Jameer Gibbs wears 26.
Yes, but I think he's. I mean, he could be 24, I guess. But you said it's not the NFC North, right?
Oh, right. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
NFC West. um, Kyron Williams isn't
I was
24.
just about to say Kyron, but he's shorter than 6'2".
Yeah.
Uh, damn, not a wide receiver. Who else is out there?
You want to try and narrow down the division first?
Sure.
So
I was about to say Bucky Irving, but I would have to assume he's taller. He's shorter than 6'2".
he also wears a single digit number, I believe, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, that's right. And it's lower than 10. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
But we can just put him in there to see if it's a running back, if
All
you
right,
want.
run it.
Okay. Let's do Bucky Irving. All right,
All right,
NFC
NFC South.
South, not a running back. Tight end?
Hmm.
NFC South. Uh, is it Taysom Hill? No. He's not 24.
What about hold on. Oh no, Kyle Pitts wears 8.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work. Taysom Hill's like 80 years old too, so he wouldn't be 24.
NFC
See
South.
what other tight ends are out there.
Thinking of Carolina. Do they have Hayden Hurst?
No, Hayden Hurst is on the Chargers now. He was there.
Oh, right.
Um, you know how old Kate Otten is?
I don't. What number does he
I
wear?
don't. I think it's like 80, 80, 88 or something like that.
Nope, that's not it. How do you spell his last name?
Kate, just put Cade, Cade.
Okay, so it is a tight end.
It is a tight end.
Oh, it's well, okay. At least we know it's a tight end, but we should have done a different scene. But it's fine. It's fine.
Oh man, we guessed another Tampa guy. I didn't even
Yeah,
realize that it was already ruled out.
yeah. Who's the tight end for the Saints?
It's Jawan Johnson and it's Taysom Hill. I'm pretty sure Jawan Johnson's like 28, so wouldn't be
Okay.
him.
Do you want to just type in Chuba Hubbard to see if it's Carolina? I hate to do that,
Um,
but
I don't want because we know that it's the only reason I say no on Chuba is because we know that it's not a running back, and I know that I mean we could rule out Tampa, Atlanta. We could rule out because Pitts is
right.
number 8. So I think Carolina is a good type in what's his name, bro? They just drafted we just drafted a tight end too. He's a rookie this year, and I'm blanking on his name. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Carolina though.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we still have four guesses,
All right.
so
All right, then if you want to do Chuba,
yeah,
just so we could
yeah. Oops.
narrow down for sure Carolina.
So, wait, what? What? It's not letting me input Chuba Hubbard. I'm gonna put Bryce Young. Okay, so it is Carolina.
Yeah.
All right, so Carolina. So yeah, Carolina's tight end. I don't know. Uh,
Um.
And what's so funny is the last Wordle that I did on my last podcast with that guy, it was also a Carolina player. It was like the defensive player.
Look up. I'm pretty sure his last name is Sanders. Yeah, Jatavian Sanders.
What? Yeah, that okay.
I have no idea what
I give
another tight
up.
end is for him. Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, how do we give up here? I'm just
Let me
gonna
do other guesses.
yeah. AJ Brown. Boom.
Tommy Tremble.
Where?
Never heard of her.
Oh, right here. Tommy.
Yeah, yeah.
What? What?
Never heard of her.
Wow. Born in 2000.
That's sick.
That's
That's sickening.
that's sickening.
As
Dang.
someone born in 95, that just hurts my heart.
Damn.
What are you? Are you like 98,
N-
99,
99.
99? Oh man, right on the edge.
Hey, I'm
You're
still.
right. You're right on the edge of where it's sickening. You're right
Yeah,
there. You just made it.
I agree. But yeah, I was born December 26th, 99. So
You're
5
2000s, baby.
days. 5 days, bro.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I guess you will, as a 90 baby, we'll let you be for now. But
Yeah.
you slip up, we're gonna send you to the 2000s.
Not a problem. That's fine. That's fine.
Depending on where you slot Kirk Cousins this time, we'll see where we slot you.
Breaking news: he's not in top 15. All right. All right. Let's not get it twisted. All right. I was wrong. All right. So first thing we're gonna talk about is the Super Bowl and the recap because it was a crazy game. 40-22, Eagles get the win, and my original thoughts when I was watching it was even in going into halftime, I was like, if the Chiefs can get even just a field goal here and make it, what was it, 24-3, come out of the half, get a drive and score, I think it's still a ball game.
Mm.
But they didn't. And what a game. I mean,
Dude, so I'm watching the game with my wife, and it's obviously they're getting blown out, and my wife's like, "So, can we just like go to bed now? And the entire time I'm just like, babe, we can't because there's always that chance that they could come back. Like the whole time I'm just waiting and waiting for Mahomes to make something happen, for the light to switch, them get momentum back, anything.
Yeah.
And it just never happened. And honestly, it was very shocking to me. Like them getting absolutely destroyed like that, it really was a surprise to me. I didn't really expect that at all. Um, but also going into it is like if you're telling me that Philly's gonna win this game, the way that they did was really the only way that I saw it was gonna happen. Because if you go into a one-score game with the Chiefs, more often than not, and they've proven that you're not gonna win that one-score game. So I
Yeah.
mean, kudos to Philly. They balled out. Their defense was insane. So yeah, all credit to them, man. They really made life hell for Mahomes, and the Chiefs all night.
Yeah. And what really sucks is I think the Chiefs defense played good. Like they held Saquon under, I think it was 80 yards rushing. And I don't know the last team to do that this season for against the Eagles, but they held him under and they were giving Mahomes like, oh, okay,
It,
go drive down the field and score. But they
yeah,
were just on the field the entire time. And Mahomes, that pick six, there's 7 points. That's not on the defense. And then he throws another pick in the red zone and they get the ball at like the 15-yard line and then they end up scoring. So,
yeah,
in my opinion, you can't really fault the defense for giving up those 14 points, you know? And if you
yeah.
take those points away, obviously the Chiefs just couldn't get anything going. But their
Really,
defense played really well.
17 points too because of the strip sack.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
got a
forgot
they
about
got a
that.
field goal off of that. Yeah, so 17 points, and Mahomes even said it in his presser too. That was 17 points that was on him
Hmm.
that they gave him too. So
Yeah,
I mean, you take those 17 away, then what is that? 26 points.
yeah.
Um, if I'm doing math correctly, but math is hard sometimes, so don't quote
40.
me on that. I'm pretty sure it's 26. Yeah, 40 minus 14 is 26. Um,
We said
so I
17.
mean, oh, I did say 17. So then 25. My bad, my bad, my bad.
No, 23. Are we stupid?
Dude, why is math so
Wait, wait,
hard?
wait,
Are we
wait.
dumb? We
40
dumb?
minus 10 is 30,
Are we
right?
dumb?
30 minus 7 is 23. Yeah, 23.
23. Okay, my bad.
And the Chiefs scored 22.
Yeah, my bad. So to answer my question, yes, I am dumb. So my bad. But yeah, so I mean, really, it's 23 points when you talk about that offense too. I mean, that's good, right? So you would
Hmm.
imagine that they'd be able to hold up there in the bargain offensively, and they couldn't at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like you said, I was just waiting like, okay, they're going to drive here. And their first play of the game was a play to Juju, first down. After that, not a single first down the rest of the half.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away at what was going on. And I was sitting there and I was watching the game and I was thinking, why aren't we like running screens? Why aren't we getting the ball out of Mahomes' hands? They abandoned the run so quickly. First two drives,
Mhm.
they just stopped running the ball. And I was talking to my dad. I'm like, bro, why aren't they running the ball? And then the like third or fourth drive, they put Isaiah Pacheco in and he started running the ball. But by that time, it was too late. You know, like they just
Mhm.
abandoned it so quickly. And I thought, nah, this game's over, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, man. I thought that, especially coming out of half, where you think someone like Andy Reid, who's shown to be able to make adjustments and find some level of offense. I honestly thought it was a big coaching loss as well. I
Yeah.
mean, Mahomes didn't look good. Like it was definitely a loss on him and the rest of the offense for sure. But yeah, it was a bad coaching loss to me too, which again, very surprising
Hmm.
to see that happen.
Yeah. Three-peat is gone. I wanted to see the win, man. I wanted to see the three-peat. Who are you rooting for?
Well, I kind of I told people this, and it's like I know as a Broncos fan, I'm supposed to never want the Chiefs to do good, but my thought process was is I wanted them to get the three-peat So that way, when we beat them next year, it's we took down Goliath. We were the ones to take them down,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But Philly ended up taking them down, so it's like so missed the chance.
Yeah.
But but next year though, Broncos year, baby. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so like I kind of wanted that, and also, I mean, I like watching greatness. I like watching history, so it would have been cool just to witness history that way. But the biggest thing is, as a unique, motivation there was to be able to uh, say that the Broncos took down the three-peat champs.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, well, I didn't send that to you, but that's something I definitely was like, I'm just going to sneak it in there and bring it up while I was talking about the Broncos. But coming off of the Super Bowl, kind of leading into the next discussion is the GOAT debate and this and that. Do you think the GOAT debate is like over? People on Twitter afterwards and social media, Mahomes is never going to be the GOAT. He's trash. I saw a lot of that stuff, and I was like, guys, let's relax. The guy's 29 years old. He just went to his fifth Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah,
let's pump the brakes. All right. So, what do you think? Do you think the
yeah,
GOAT debate is still very much alive? Do you think it needs to be put on pause? What are your thoughts?
yeah. I think it's more so put on pause than it is. It's not dead by any means. I mean, like we just said, he's 29 and already went to his fifth Super Bowl. I mean, so he still has all opportunity in the world to get 7, 8 championships, right? Like the ability is still there. So,
Hmm.
but if he would have three-peated, that's something that's never been done. Tom Brady's never done that. I don't even think relatively it's been close because if I remember, like they won a championship, then I think they missed the playoffs the next year, and
Yeah.
then won two, and then he went 10 years, without winning. I know he went to two, but like he hasn't, he's never really come close to a three-peat.
Yeah.
Um, so like that's something that would have been on Pat's resume that wasn't on Tom's, and then you factor in his age, this and that. So like there could have been arguments to be made about him being the GOAT. But now he's solidified as like, hey, you're number two for some time now until you rack up some more rings, sort of thing. So like, and more rings and the more yards, which just comes with playing more years and whatnot and touchdowns. So
Yeah.
I do think that it's paused in that sense. To be honest, the biggest thing that I took away from this game is it made me appreciate Brady more,
Okay.
which is funny. Like after watching the Super Bowl, I went back and I watched the 28-3 game, and it just made me appreciate Brady more, man. Because like, now this is two Super Bowls that Mahomes has been blown out. The first one, we kind of give him that pass because really he was doing as much as he could.
Yeah.
I mean, he was hitting receivers in the hands, right? They were dropping passes. I mean, a touchdown went through Tyreek's helmet. Another touchdown went through, albeit a linebacker's um, hands into his running back too, and hit him right in the face.
Yeah.
Um, but that was a touchdown there too that got dropped. But this game, like Mahomes didn't do anything,
Yeah.
like nothing, and he like, dude, I look back at that Brady game, and this man had 62 attempts. 62 attempts in that Super Bowl and completed 70% of his passes. And in the first half of that game, it was similar where he got sacked. I think it was like 5, 6 times. He was getting pressured like crazy. But then Brady found a way to move the chains and get positive plays going forward. And that's something where, Mahomes was probably going for a bunch of yards or deep shots to try to win it all back quickly, but Brady did it methodically. I mean, his leading receiver that game was James White, who's the running back.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because the secondary, right, they were locking stuff up deep. Brady was taking what the defense was giving him every time, which was the checkdowns. And those checkdowns just lead to positive plays, momentum building plays, confidence building plays. I mean, and rhythm building plays for
Yeah.
the quarterback. So yeah, I walked away from it, and I was honestly more impressed with Brady off of what Mahomes did because of that. And so I think Mahomes has a little more maturing to do when it comes to being in those situations and being more disciplined with taking what's there, um, and being more creative in how to find ways to still get it done.
Mhm. I actually did not know that James White was the leading receiver. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I think the GOAT debate is still very much alive. Even if he did win this, in my opinion, he was still going to be two. I think he has to get to at least 5 or 6 for it to be an actual discussion.
Mhm.
So
5 and 6, and then have like the yards and the touchdowns and stuff to
yeah,
come behind it, which happens with having a longer career. Yeah.
yeah, and I saw something floating around on Twitter that was comparing Mahomes at 29 to Brady at 29, and a lot of the stats were off. So this morning I took like I don't know 30 45 minutes and went through all the stats and actually got the correct stats. So
Yeah.
it's through or to the age of 29. Once Brady turned 29, that was the 2008 season after they just lost to the Giants and they went 16-0. And
Yep.
that next season, that's when he tore his ACL, so he didn't play that season.
Yep.
So up until 29, Brady and Mahomes for Super Bowl wins, both have 3. Super Bowl appearances, Brady has 3 and Mahomes has 5. Because this was before. Wait, no, this is wrong. This he should have 4. Sorry. Super Bowl MVPs, Brady had 2, Mahomes has 3. Passing yards, Mahomes has 26,000, or excuse me, Brady has 26,000, Mahomes has 32,000. Of course, we know it's more pass heavy now than it was 20 years ago. Passing touchdowns, Brady has 187, Mahomes has 245. And then this is where I find this interesting. For interceptions, Brady had 86 and Mahomes has 74. So even more pass heavy, he's had less turnovers, which
Yeah.
is nice.
I
When
mean, there's no argument that Mahomes has the greatest start to a career
yeah,
ever, right? Like and when you think of that too, I mean, Brady won his first 3, and the whole team wasn't on his shoulders. Like
yeah,
he wasn't Tom Brady yet, right?
agreed.
Mahomes, he came out the womb, right, and
Yeah.
he threw 50 touchdowns his first year as a starter. So like Mahomes was already Mahomes. The biggest difference is, where they were at, or where Mahomes is at, like as far as a processor of things then compared to now as well. But like, yeah, there's no argument as far as
hmm
if you take the first starting their career, like Mahomes has the greatest start ever.
Yeah, and my point in bringing up these stats was just to say, look at what Mahomes is doing and kind of making the point that he's not going to break Brady's records if he plays. Let's just say he plays 20 years. Or Brady played 23, 24, I think, and didn't
Mhm.
play his first year and then played half of like his second year in and out.
Yeah.
But we're not going to say Mahomes isn't going to play 20 years and he's already ahead in all these records and stats. So I say that to say once it's all said and done, if Mahomes has 5 or if he has 6, I think he's the GOAT. But people like to bring up the argument where he lost to him in the Super Bowl and then the AFC Championship game. Mahomes lost in overtime, and like you and I were texting, if Chris Jones doesn't pass interference Brady by hitting him on the shoulder pad with just a light tap, the Chiefs win that game. And then in the Super
Or
Bowl,
if Chris Jones wasn't offsides.
or exactly. So there's 2
Yeah,
that you can kind of
he was
pick from.
offsides, and Brady threw an interception that same play,
Yeah.
and then it would have been over. Then they were going to the Super Bowl his very first year starting.
Yeah. So there was that, the 2 Chris Jones, and then in the Super Bowl, Mahomes was running for his life. You could tell he was trying, but Patrick Mahomes doesn't play defense, and neither does Tom Brady. So in my opinion, I don't hold that against him. Like, oh, he's 2-0 against him. Like,
I don't
so
either.
that's a load of crap. Like,
Because
relax.
to me, it would be a bigger knock is Brady losing to Eli Manning twice than
Yeah.
Mahomes losing to Brady twice.
Exactly.
In those scenarios. So I don't hold that against him either.
Yeah, and people forget, like, Brady was hated. And he got so many calls to go his way, and people think, "Oh no, he was just so good. People hated him, but they respected him." Like, no, people hated him. The Tuck rule, you guys know who that was created after? Oh yeah, after Tom Brady fumbled, it was going to lose to not go to the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. After Tom Brady tore his ACL following his MVP season, what did they do? They implemented more strict roughing the passer rules. Like, well,
Mhm.
how are we gonna sit here and act like Brady didn't get the ref treatment as Mahomes is getting? It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know what happens? It's like that scene in Spider-Man in the first one where the Goblin's like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yep.
That's literally is literally the same thing, right? It's like you go this time, right? You're rising like, oh, this guy's awesome, this guy's awesome. Then it's like, I'm tired of him being awesome. So it's like, oh, this guy's the worst. Da 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 da. Brady just played so freaking long that it's back up to him being awesome.
Yeah.
It's like that with every when you think of mega star. I mean, it happened. I mean, LeBron, right? You
Hmm.
have that. You had that with the Warriors as well. Granted, like Steph was never really hated, but the Warriors were,
Yeah.
especially when they added KD. But then you're in the league long enough and they go through enough adversity, and it's like, all right, they haven't been in championships for a while. It's like, oh, Brady's back to winning championships and going to championships. It's like, this guy's freaking awesome, again. So it's all cyclical that way, which is I don't know why it's like that and why people are like that. But I mean, Mahomes is going through that hate spout right now. Give him some time where maybe he's not going to championships, and then as soon as he's back in there, then it's going to be like, oh shit, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
He's really fun to watch,
Uh huh.
So it's cyclical that way.
Yeah, and people think I don't know. It's crazy that people just take this Super Bowl blowout loss and say, "Oh, Brady never got blown out in the Super Bowl." Blah blah blah. And it's like, bro, he won one game against the. It was a divisional round against the Ravens. I think like 2005 or 2006. This man threw for three interceptions, 150 yards, and lost 33-14.
Yeah,
He lost to Jake Delhomme. He lost to Joe Flacco. Eli Manning twice in the Super Bowl. Like, what? Patrick Mahomes has only lost to Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, and Joe Burrow. That's it. He only knows losing in overtime in the AFC Championship game. That's all he knows. He's made the playoffs every single year. People forget Brady missed the playoffs after they won the Super Bowl. Missed the
yeah,
playoffs. If Mahomes missed the playoffs, everyone's grilling him. So
yeah,
the debate is still very much alive, but I agree with what you said. It's put on pause for now. So,
yeah.
yeah.
It's put on pause. The conversation of him being the number one is put on pause. But like as far as his career, he's definitely in play to still retire whenever he does as the GOAT. Like that's for sure still in play, unless somehow he just never goes back to another Super Bowl
Yeah.
because Bo Nix is in all of them. So that,
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of goats, Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers, we
A Rod.
we that
Yep.
I love Aaron Rodgers, but do you think he should retire? Let's just ask that first question. Do you think he should retire?
Mm, I don't think so. I mean, it's like when you're a competitor like that and you see the way that he ended the year, right? His last 10 games, he was going nuts,
Yep.
right? I think that if he's in a different situation, I know people are like, different situation. He had all this, and that with, Garrett Wilson, and he got Devontae Adams, and then Brees Hall. Like he definitely had talented people around him. But just because I mean, look at the Suns. You have a team of talented people who aren't in a great infrastructure,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not a well built team necessarily. So I think, to be honest, I think if he goes to the Rams, because there's rumors out there about Matthew Stafford and the Rams being some disconnect for a new deal, and
Yep.
then potentially him going to the Giants, and then it's like so then they need a quarterback, and I think it's Matt LaFleur's brother. He's the OC for the Rams, so running a similar system there. So like there's some connection there, but like just throwing it out there, like how that if he goes to the Rams, I think he would have more success than he did with the Jets. With, I mean, I don't think it's less talent. I don't want to say the word less talent, but there's a better infrastructure and a better system in place. Like this man still had Nathaniel Hackett calling plays
Yeah.
for like half the year, right? And as a Broncos fan, I know very well how garbage Hackett is. And then they fired their coach which is crazy because Salah is he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator or defensive coach.
I agree.
And as soon as they fire him, their defense, which was doing very well, went to shit. So then it's like, in the second half of the year when Rodgers is catching his footing and the offense is putting up some more points, they don't have that defense now that, probably would have kept them in games,
Yeah.
and had them in a better situation towards the end of the year. So um, I think he's shown that he still has some juice left. And I mean, yeah, unless you're trying to go out where it's like, all right, walk away before they make you sort of thing, then you could. But I think he's definitely still talented enough to be, one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the league, right? Like he should be a starter if he wants to be somewhere.
Yeah. And they also had a ton of kicking issues this year. I think they went through 5 or 6 kickers.
A
Just,
lot of them.
yeah,
A lot.
kickers getting hurt and then just not performing. They had a
Yeah.
ton of games that came down to the wire, and they would lose games by 1, 2, 3 points, and their kickers would have 2 and 3 missed field goals and an extra point in that game. So I think, like you said, I agree. I think he still has that juice left in him to go play. As ironic as this sounds, because Brett Favre took the same pattern, I think Minnesota is actually one of the best destinations for him.
I
But
think so too. Yeah.
I think him going over there, Kevin O'Connell, the head
Mhm.
coach over there, offensive minded coach. I know Aaron Rodgers would like that. They have young receivers, one of the best receivers, top 3 if you will in the NFL with
Yep.
Justin Jefferson. They have a good supporting cast, Jordan Addison. They have T.J. Hawkinson, right? He's still there,
Yep. Yeah.
over
Yeah.
there, and then they have Aaron Jones, one of
His
his
boy
best
Aaron
friends over
Jones.
there. So,
Yeah.
and they do have a good defense. Brian Flores, I think, did a terrific job with that defense. They have Andrew Van Ginkel over there as well. So they've got a lot of playmakers. And I think that's the best landing spot for him. I don't think he would go there because of how good that division is with the Packers and then also with Detroit. But if he goes there and clinches a playoff spot and somehow ends up making it to the NFC Championship game, that would be hilarious. But I think that is,
Honestly, I think he would. I honestly, if the Vikings came calling, I think he would absolutely do that. The reason I didn't bring up the Vikings is because I don't like. I'm pretty sure they're really high on JJ McCarthy.
yeah.
Um, and if not JJ, then they did really well with Sam Darnold. So like, I don't know if necessarily the Vikings are open to it, but if they were, like, I think he would answer that call, and I think that would be a sick destination as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just I think he got a lot of flack this year. I do think that when you look at his numbers paint a certain picture. Like, he did pretty well, but like if you watch a lot of games, you could see where he is missing
Yeah. Yeah.
some of the old Rodgers. And like I was a maniac and watched like every Jets game mainly because I had like 3 Jets on my dynasty team. So like I was watching them pretty closely, and like you could see where there's some deficiencies for sure, in his game. But like he's freaking 40 years old, right? There's only so many Tom Brady's,
Hmm.
right, who are 40 years old and at the best that they've ever been. Like that's unheard of. So as long as I think he gets a bad rap that way of people thinking that he's like uber washed, which he's not uber washed. He's not Green Bay MVP level
Yeah. Yeah.
Rodgers, but I don't know why you would expect him to be at this age. So, having a good defense, a good run game, good play action system, which Vikings have that as well as the Rams, like I mentioned. Um, so like those, I think he would thrive in that situation to give it one last run.
And another destination spot for him is, I think, the Raiders. Pete Carroll, Super Bowl head coach.
I don't,
Tom Brady
I
as
don't
as an
know.
owner. They have the second most cap space available this offseason. Devontae Adams used to play there. So, I mean, I could see a reunion of Devontae going back home to Vegas. And also, if they bring in Rodgers, they could also bring in Myles Garrett. So that defense would have Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins and Myles Garrett on that defensive front, which would be terrific. And then also you give Rodgers a weapon like Brock Bowers. You have to go out. You have to sign another receiver if he wants to bring Vontae. If Vontae wants to come back, I think that would be
They're going to be a
interesting. But
package deal. I think they're a package deal,
so then
right? Like
that's a good spot
wherever
for him.
Rodgers is going, I think Vontae is going. The problem with Vegas is sure they have cap space, but they have shit O line and they have shit running backs right
Yeah.
now. So we'll like that kind of defeats the like where he's gonna thrive is a great O line and a good run game. So I guess I don't want to rule out the Raiders, but I don't think that's the most favorable destination for him. I think that'd be tough. Plus, I think they're eyeing Darnold too.
Oh, true. And then I think those were my top three was Minnesota, the Raiders, and the last one is the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, head coach, won 2 Super Bowls, or maybe just one. I don't know if he was like an assistant coach when they won the first one.
I think he has two.
Okay. Well, and then
I think I don't know for sure. I think.
yeah, got a good defense over there. They've got George Pickens. They've got a good run game with Najee and Jalen Warren. And then Mike Williams is over there. He played with him in the Jets. Didn't really work out, but they have Fryermuth as well. So they have some weapons over there. Of course, we know it's in a.
Vontae's gonna go too.
And Vontae's going to go too, but we know it's a
Yeah.
tough division with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. So it's kind of pick your poison. Like, you want to go play in the NFC North? Do you want to play in the AFC North? Or do you want to go play with Patrick Mahomes in the AFC West? So it's kind of like
Whoa.
and Bo Nix.
And Bo
There
Nix.
you go. There you go. And Justin Herbert and now Harbaugh over there as well. So
Yeah, Herbert. Yeah.
it's a bunch of divisions where it's kind of like that's just my personal opinion of where I think
Yeah.
the best situation for him would be. But
Or, hear me out here.
okay.
You go to the NFC North, and you have Kyler, 5'7" Kyler.
NFC West.
West, sorry, AFC West. You have 5'7" Kyler. You have Geno, who's solid, but Geno. And then obviously you have the 49ers, but who knows what they're going to be. They're looking to do a lot of cap shedding and have to get ready to pay Brock Purdy
Yeah.
as well. So, I mean, yeah, it would be a good. Obviously, the Niners would be the top dog there, but I mean, McVay and Shanahan. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, like McVay has gotten the best out of that matchup for a while now. Too, he's been dogging them a little bit in that matchup, so
Mhm.
I don't think that they fear them either. So I think I'd rather go out there, play in a dome, right? Stay nice and warm, stay tan out in California,
And
So
he's from there too.
exactly, yeah,
That's not bad. That's not
exactly.
bad. Okay. I like it. Aaron Rodgers.
Granted,
So
that's them getting rid of Stafford, which also would be insane if they actually do, but it's just what some rumblings are out there.
yeah. So then staying on Rodgers, where does he rank all time on your quarterbacks list? For me, he ranks fifth. So then I'll let
So,
you explain, or I'll let you give yours, and then after you do your explanation, I have some stats that also took me like 30 minutes to gather.
I mean, I'm not far from you. I have him six.
Okay.
So really the people I have over him it's Brady, Mahomes, Montana, Peyton Manning, and John Elway.
Okay. Solid.
So
Solid.
yeah, and then I have Rodgers six. A lot of that just comes down to championships, right? Like I think when you get to that level, I mean Peyton has like a bunch of the passing titles as well. He did right,
Yeah.
like he's up there. Obviously Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Joe Montana has 4 chips, and then Mahomes is Mahomes, right? So he's goated. So and then John Elway has, I think he beats him. For me, he beats him just because of the championships, maybe a little bit of a homer because he's a Bronco, so there's that involved,
Ah, right.
too. Maybe, but mostly the championships, I think. So, yeah, that's my. I mean, I have him right there. So
Mhm.
I have him ahead of. When doing this, I was like, where do I put him between him and Marino? And I was like, well, Rodgers has a chip, Marino doesn't. Both probably arguably the most gifted passers we've seen, and
Yeah.
there's Mahomes now too. But to this point. or to that point, pre-Mahomes. Those two were like the most gifted passers the NFL's ever seen. So I gave Rodgers the nod over Marino because of that the championship. So yeah, I have him six, so we're not far.
Yeah, he's definitely top. Some people drop him below top 7 or top 8, and I'm like, dude, what? Like they even have him outside the top 10. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Outside top 10 is
Like
wild.
that's crazy. You just can't do that. That's blasphemous. Like what's going on? So people like to bring up Rodgers and how he's lost NFC Championship games. He's 1 for 4 in 5 games, and people say he can't get the job done. I've always said it's his defense, and I dug and did a bunch of research. Okay,
There's a lot of merit into that. Yeah.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 quarterbacks in the NFL or all time have started and played in at least 4 conference championship games. Okay. We know Brady's played in 14, Mahomes has played in 7. Out of those 15 quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers' defense gives up the most points per game at 30.8 points. The next closest to that is Steve Young, who played for the Niners, and it's 29.7 points. We know he has a Super Bowl, but he was playing in 3 of the 4 of those, he played the Cowboys because it was the early 90s. But I give you these stats to say I think if Aaron Rodgers has Tom Brady's defense, I think Aaron Rodgers has at least 4 Super Bowls. At least. That's
Or
just
Tom Brady's luck, like just his luck. I mean, think
that
about
too.
how unlucky that onside kick situation was against the Seahawks. Like, you know, what are the odds of that and stuff? That's just out of his control. So, I mean, when you look at guys like Tom Brady and even for this stretch too with Mahomes,
Yeah.
like to win a championship, to get there, there is luck that's involved, and some people just don't get the bounce of the ball that way, and it is what it is. So he's been in those situations where I say he's been a little unlucky
Yeah.
that way. But I mean, you can't the people who are dogging on Rodgers for losing in the conference championship, but then they're also the same people who are dogging on like Mahomes or Brady for getting to the Super Bowl and losing, 3 times. It's like, so which one is, first you said that it's not okay to lose in the conference championship, but then you're also saying, getting to the Super Bowl and losing, like there's
Yeah.
no credit there either. So it's like, what's the disconnect, right? Like, people are all over the place when it comes to it. So yeah, I think Rodgers gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they've only been to one Super Bowl with him is more of an organizational failure than it is a Rodgers failure. But yeah, no, I like I said, I have him six,
Yeah.
very easily could be five, right? Like he's a stud, he's an all-time great, and yeah, I definitely back in my playing days, I was watching a ton of Rodgers, just trying to learn anything from him because he was amazing. So no, I hear you, bro. I was a big Rodgers fan as well.
Yeah, so I can go through all of them real quick. So Tom Brady's defense gave up an average of 21.6 points. Mahomes is 24.4. Joe Montana surprisingly is 14.5 and he's played in 7. So that's crazy. Roger Staubach,
Montana?
yeah. He played in
Montana's
he played
played in
in
conference championships.
conference
My bad.
championships.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
thinking Super Bowls. I was like, wait, what? No, I got you. I got you.
Roger Staubach, who played for the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I was just thinking star and I couldn't think of it. It's 11.5, crazy. John Elway 19.1, so definitely had a good
My
defense
king.
there. Yeah. Terry Bradshaw, who in my opinion doesn't even sniff the top 20, is
No.
14.3, and then Aaron Rodgers at 30.8, and there's a couple other guys. Peyton Manning, he's 4-1 in conference championships. Defense gave up an average of 21.8 points per game.
What an animal.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's other ones, but I'm not gonna get into them. But
I really don't like Terry Bradshaw like that.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah, like people who have Rodgers or have him over Rodgers or like Elway or Marino,
crazy.
like those people who are like, but he has 4 championships. Yeah, yeah. I was like, bro, but he's like ass,
Yeah.
like like he had the steel curtain.
Yes.
Like you said, they're giving up what 12 points a game. Is that what you said?
Let
Like
me see.
whatever number it was, like you
14.3.
14 point. Like come on, bro. Like get out of here. That's one touchdown and three field goals and you're winning that game. Like I don't whatever. I don't look at him as an all time great.
I
So
agree. Out of those 15
with me,
quarterbacks,
sorry Steelers fans.
out of those 15 quarterbacks on this list, his defense gave up the fourth least amount of points. Crazy.
Stupid.
Crazy. So,
Stupid. Give that to Rodgers. He probably has like 6.
yeah. Crazy. All right, so let's do an MVP recap. So we know Josh Allen won it. He won by 3 votes or 4 votes. So do you think the right person won it? And if not, who do you think should have won it?
Absolutely not. I think it should have been Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should have been Lamar. I think that it got to that point where it's kind of similar to the Joel Embiid and the Nikola Jokic
Yeah.
MVP situation where it's like, all right, man, like Jokic just won so many, we're just gonna give it to you, right? For new blood. And that's not to say that Josh Allen didn't have an MVP caliber season because he obviously did,
Yeah.
but like it was hands down Lamar. Like, how do you get he's the first team All Pro, but then doesn't get the MVP? Like you give it to the other guy. It's the same exact thing that happened with Jokic and
Hmm.
Embiid. Jokic was first team All NBA. Jokic was Embiid was second, and then he won the MVP. It's like I saw on Twitter, and it's hilarious. Where it's like the all time, here, damn, bro, like here, take MVP, like damn, finally, here, take it, sort of thing. So nah, I think it should have been Lamar. Like his season was insane, like it was sick. So yeah, I think they got that one wrong.
Okay. I I know you watched my podcast with the previous guy where
Oh
I
yeah.
talked about it. So I'm not gonna for the viewers if you I'm not gonna repeat what I said for the viewers. Because I'll just keep it short and sweet because I don't want to repeat myself. I think Joe Burrow should have won it, but like I said if I was gonna put money on anyone to win it, it should be Lamar Jackson. Or no, if I'm speaking too fast. If I think anyone was gonna win it, it was gonna be Josh Allen, but I think Lamar should have won it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, absolutely. And then yeah, so on your Joe Burrow, like I'm with you. I think that if Joe Burrow would have even gotten into the playoffs, I think he would have won MVP because his season
Interesting. Okay.
also was insane. But like, you can't really give it to someone that's not in the playoffs, right? Has a losing season, and granted, it's not a lot. A lot of it's not his fault because his defense was historically garbage,
Yeah.
right? Like not just garbage, but historically garbage, right? So you just can't give it to him because of that. But I mean, Joe Burrow was sick this year too. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there. That I think he definitely could have won it if they would have had a better season.
Hmm. Do you think the Eagles can go back to back?
I don't know. I mean, they're definitely built for it.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense is young. I'm praying to the good Lord above that the Broncos could pry Zach Bond away because he's a free agent. So throw that Walmart money at him, because he was insane too. So, but like they're definitely built for it. I mean, again, they're young. A lot of their core people are under contract for a few more years, too. So, and everyone that needs to get paid, I think, has already been paid. I'm pretty sure. So, like, they could keep the team together, barring injuries. Taquan is nuts.
Yeah.
So, anytime you can take advantage of Saquon, and then obviously you have AJ and you have the Slim Reaper, right? Like, it's an insane, insane roster. So,
Hmm.
just off the talent alone that they have, it's very possible. I'd be very interested to see what happens with their offense now that Kellen Moore is gone.
Yeah.
Um, so see who the new offensive coordinator is. I mean, he really helped that offense a lot compared to the year before. That's why he became available, is because they fired the previous. I don't even know who the previous OC was, but I know that it wasn't as good under like how it was under Kellen Moore. Granted, Saquon probably has a lot to do with that
Oh yeah,
as well
100%.
too. But yeah, so that would be interesting to see what changes come with that. But they're definitely built to do it. It would be interesting to see who out of the AFC is gonna be able to contend um, with them on the other side.
Yeah.
So, but they're definitely built to do it. We'll see what happens, but they're definitely built to go back to back.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely think they can at least make the divisional round. I don't know if they can get that one seed again. Well, they didn't get the one seed, sorry. They got the two seed, I believe, two or three seed, because
Yeah.
the Lions had the one seed. I
Yep.
definitely think they can contend and get that one seed or two seed again. I think it just depends on health, and hopefully Saquon stays healthy and that offensive line stays healthy. And like you said, that defense is young, so I don't see why not. Jalen Hurts is still playing good football, and I don't mean this to sound rude. He's obviously a really good quarterback in the NFL, but you're not asking him to pass 50 times a game and to go win the game. Like
Mhm.
he can do that, not to say that he cannot, but I think they have just a perfect system for him where they have a good defense. He contributes extremely well with the run game, and when he needs to pass or when he's asked to pass, he does a great job of passing, and his deep ball is
Mhm.
really well or really good as well. And
Mhm.
when the pocket collapses, he can take off and run. So they
Yeah.
definitely can contend to go back to back. I would like to see it. I think it would be very interesting to see. And like you mentioned, to see in the AFC who's going to contend other than the Chiefs. Who's going to go to the Super
Yeah.
Bowl other than them? Is Josh Allen or the Bills? Are they gonna threaten
Mhm.
them? I don't know. Is the Bills gonna or the Ravens?
The
Are they gonna
Ravens, so
do
they're
it?
probably going to be able to
Like who's
get
gonna
over
do
that
it?
hump. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it'll be interesting just to see how it unfolds with free agency and everything and what teams are able to stack up as well. I mean, the most important thing, which what we saw from the Chiefs game, is who's going to have the O line that can hold up against the four-man rush, because
yeah,
that's literally all they did was just come with a four-man, and the Chiefs could not handle it at all. So
literally.
who has the best O line going into it? I think what happens with the Lions is going to be very interesting as well. I mean, that's going to be a huge determining factor because their defense was decimated, right? Like their defense, everyone and their mother was injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in that game against the Commanders, like they were playing dudes that were on the practice squad that they just called up, like
Yeah,
because they had to. And I mean, if Jared Goff isn't in a shootout situation where he has so much on his shoulders like he did that game, um, granted, like he kind of put them there because he played terribly.
yeah,
Um, but that's here nor there. But healthy, the Lions have a very good defense, and yeah, it would be interesting to see if they're able to get into that Myles Garrett sweepstakes as well to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. So the Lions are for sure contenders with them
yeah,
if healthy. They have a great O line, right? So that'll help against Philly's D line. They have explosive players everywhere. Jameer Gibbs is nuts. Um, in a very weird way, when Jameer Gibbs, like, there's times during the game when he's just exploding, right? It literally takes my breath away sometimes.
pause. Yeah,
Like, yeah, I
yeah,
know. It's just weird. Is because I just gasped. I'm like, oh my goodness! Like this
yeah.
man just took off. Like it's just crazy. Like yeah, I know. Again, I know that sounded weird, but it's just literally what happens. Like it's just my jaw drops again. Dang, pause. Um,
Yeah,
it's just so explosive, bro. It's crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, so like the Lions when healthy are built to compete against the Eagles. Granted, they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator, but I mean they're a good organization. Which year 2025, who would have thought you'd say the Lions are a good organization?
Crazy.
So I'm sure that they'll still be fine. So I think the Lions will give them a good run, and then possibly the Commanders too, based off of what they do in free agency here.
Hmm. Our next topic was to talk about the Chiefs and who they should go after, but I kind of want to skip that and get to your Broncos and talk about because was not expecting them to do as good as they did, and Bo Nix definitely showed that he's a good quarterback in the NFL. He threw
Yeah,
31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, like 3,200
he
yards, rushed the ball
he
for
had
like
29 passing TDs before rushing TDs. So he had
33.
33.
There you go. You got
Math,
it.
bro,
Math,
math
math.
hard. Yeah, he had 33 total touchdowns.
And
Yep.
yeah, he rushed the ball really good as well. I think people don't give him his credit as a good rusher. So yeah, let's talk about the Broncos and how I was certainly surprised at how well they did this season. Were you also surprised as well, or were you just like, oh, I was expecting this?
Yes.
Okay.
Very surprised. Yeah. So really quick though, just on that Chiefs thing, I could answer that very quick. What they need is O line, right? Their
Right.
tackles
Yeah.
were awful. So get Tooney back at guard where he's supposed to be, and get two tackles, and then they can figure it out from there. So plain and easy there.
Yeah.
As far as my Broncos, um, I did not expect that. No, like I don't want to say I was a Bo hater, but I think I talked to you about it. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But like I was heavy in them drafting Michael Penix.
Oh,
Like I,
okay.
I wanted I wanted Penix, right? I was watching a bunch of film of dude. I was like, yo, this guy's got a crazy arm, which he does.
He does.
And then Atlanta took him, and then the Broncos got Bo, and then I was like, the classic, damn, we just got the check down merchant or the screen merchant.
Hmm.
And so I definitely was down on him and them initially. But then I listened to the experts, who's Sean Payton, right? It's the GM as well, also Payton, but spelled differently. Um, George Payton, and then Sean was talking about how when they did the analytics, they took away the quick screens, they took away like the RPO passes, and when they did that, he finished first when it came to end of 2 minute scoring, first
Wow.
in accuracy, still first in I think it was deep ball or intermediate ball completions as well. So like he's finishing. He has all these high marks, and then you hear Sean talk about going into the draft process, how impressed they were with how he was able to retain or consume the playbook and regurgitate all the information the night before. They threw him on the board for their private workout, and then I saw him his very first preseason game. I was like, wait a minute, like this might be something here.
Hmm.
So I definitely did not expect that. I can tell you, I have never been happy. I shouldn't say never been, but I haven't been happier than I was when Broncos had Peyton Manning, which has been like 10
10
years
years.
at this point. So, no, I didn't expect them to be this good. I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy that I was wrong about being out on Bo and just being like, damn, it should have been Penix, sort of thing. So, who's still Penix is honestly probably going to be a stud as well in Atlanta, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. But no, I did not expect this, and I am very happy that the Broncos have their quarterback, because now that you have your quarterback, you can figure everything else out.
Yeah.
And yeah, future is bright, baby, for the first time in 10 years. So I'm very happy, very excited.
You guys went 10-7, correct?
Correct.
And you guys go 11-6 if that blocked field goal doesn't go
Yeah,
or the Chiefs' way. So that's crazy
dude.
to think about.
I almost so it's funny because my son's nap time, right, is from 12 to 2, and then from 4 to like 4:45. So I say that because I'm watching the Broncos game with my son. He's napping. I have it on the iPad, and the field goal block happens, and I almost woke up my son because I freaked out. I was like, "What just happened, bro?" Like I spazzed for a second. I almost woke up my son. So thank God he didn't wake up. I didn't like spaz too much, so it's all good. My wife didn't kill me, so we're good there. But bro, was pretty devastated when that block happened, bro. I was so hyped. I'm like, we just beat the Chiefs. We're
First
gonna give them their
loss.
first loss. Yo, we're nice. Then bam, disappointment. My heart dropped. It was crazy.
So y'all going 10-7, making the playoffs, getting that last playoff spot. What do you think they need to do in order to keep that same momentum going for the next season, to have another winning season, to contend and almost beat the Chiefs, because that's the leader in y'all's division? So what do you think they need to do to do those things?
Yeah, so the O line is actually sick. We have a really good O line, so we're good there. Um, Bo stud, so we're good there. I would like another receiver. I think Cortland Sutton, like he's really really good. Marvin Mims, he during the back half of the season, he really grew, and he's really decent. But someone like a T Higgins, someone like if we're able to get Garrett Wilson, who said that he wants to get out of New York, barring the quarterback situation. Someone that's a elite pass catcher. Um, or, there's rumors of like Debo. Obviously, Debo wants out
Oh, yeah.
of there. Debo would be nice because Sean Payton talks about needing, that Joker role, and that fits Debo. So, um, on the offensive side of things, it's that like a Joker. I would like a pass catcher. Um, but most importantly, I think if you're like, hey, you can only get three things, I would say a tight end who can also fill that sort of joker role. Um, More of a workhorse running back and a good pass catcher. So, for example, someone like again, these are my dreams. Is
Yeah.
Brees Hall? So trying to get him out of New York, but like a pass catching running back that could play all three downs, and then I think safety is probably the biggest one on defense, either safety or inside linebacker is the biggest thing. So that's my three wish lists. If we have to, I would love a T Higgins though. Like that would be sick
Ooh.
and electric. So we'll see from there. But yeah, that's kind of the dream.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Again, that Walmart money, who knows? They could start spending it. You got the quarterback,
Yeah.
so now you can start spending the money around the rest of the team.
So now the next two talking points is like free agency, trades to be made, and kind of like draft discussion.
Wait,
We
I'm
go ahead.
out. I'm
Go ahead.
out. I'm out. I got to hear about you and your Dolphins. What do you guys need besides everything?
Yeah, everything. Exactly. You just said it. I've said it on. I've said it for like the last 2-3 years. We need a quarterback. In my opinion, Tua will never win us a playoff game, and if he does, cool. But we will never win a Super Bowl as with Tua as our quarterback. It's just plain and simple. He's not as good. So I think we need a quarterback. Running back, I think Devon Achane is a top 10 running back if you want to put him up there.
He's a
He's
stud.
he's a stud. He's really good. We still have Tyreek Hill. We still have Jalen Waddle. We have Jonnu Smith, who won me my fantasy championship game. So he's definitely been
Dude,
balling out.
he was a huge waiver wire ad for me.
I picked him up,
So he got me
and
to the fantasy championship. I ended up losing in the championship game because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I played Garrett Wilson instead of Malik Neighbors. So and Malik Neighbors dropped like 36 points that week, and Garrett
oh,
only had 17. So it was pretty tragic.
Sam.
But yeah, I hear you. Shout out Janu.
So yeah, we have the weapons. I just think we need a better quarterback. And in my opinion, Mike McDaniels is overrated as a coach. I I don't like his play calling. I don't. Sometimes we're driving down the field and the run game is working and he just abandons it and just starts going pass. And now we're third in medium and we've been picking up 5-6 yards a carry. So again, I'm not an NFL play caller, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's just based on what I see on TV. And
I love his play designing though.
yeah, I like the play design, but the play call and when to call it, I don't agree with. I disagree with. And I think the screens, I think he got too screen happy. It reminded me of Adam Gase when he was in Miami and just gave me nightmares. So I think number one is we need a quarterback. And I honestly think that's just number one. I think you give us Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. I think you give us any one of those quarterbacks, we have a winning season and we're making the playoffs and we're winning the playoff game. That's just my personal opinion. I do not believe in Tua. I also do not believe in left-handed quarterbacks, but that bias has nothing to do with my opinion.
It is pretty ugly though. Like
Yeah.
it's like you could have the most perfect mechanics as a lefty, and it's gonna look ugly just because you're left-handed.
Yeah.
So I hear you there. It's difficult. It's difficult coaching lefties. Because there's sometimes where I was doing QB training at some point in life when I was doing that, and then every once in a while you get a lefty, and I'm just like, ugh, like I don't know what to do. I don't. My brain doesn't think that way. I can't do it. So
Mhm.
figure it out. Not actually, but it's I hear you on the lefty thing.
Yeah. And I I've had stats on Tua when he plays top 10 defenses, and then when he doesn't play them, he struggles like to the
Mightily.
extent. Yeah.
Yeah.
He struggles so much to the point where so in 2023, not against not a top 10 defense, he had like 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, like an 8-0 record. Then against a top 10 defense, he had 11 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and a 1-6 record or 1-7 record. Then this last season, very similar. So I also think him being healthy plays a part, but when he goes and plays against these good teams, he's not performing well. He's not.
Yeah.
In order to be a top 10, top 15 quarterback, you have to rise to the occasion, and he just doesn't do that. It's simple. It's just simple numbers to just look at and say, is he performing when he's playing good teams? No. So I think the number one thing, I've said it for the last 3 years, is we need a new quarterback. And we just paid him $55 million,
A lot of money.
and he has not even won a playoff game. So
Yeah.
it's
A
ridiculous.
lot of money there.
It's
Yep.
ridiculous. So yeah, that's my thought on my Dolphins. The last time the Dolphins won a playoff game, I was 3 days old. So it's been a while.
You know who? You know what's the team that doesn't need a quarterback right now?
The Carolina Panthers.
The Denver Broncos, baby.
Oh,
Oh,
damn it.
bless up.
All right,
Bless up.
let's move into free agency here. So
All right.
a couple of the moves. We talked about Aaron Rodgers already. Myles Garrett's a big name that's floating around there. Matthew Stafford as well. And all of this plays into part with the draft and teams, who they're going to draft. If they want to trade down, if they want to trade up, they can incorporate these pieces. And another thing is cap space. We know the Patriots, they have $130 million in cap space. And they just got Mike Vrabel, which I think they should have done that from the get-go. I don't know what the hell Robert Kraft was thinking. So they have $30 million in cap space. They have their franchise quarterback. Now they just need to go out. They need to get weapons. They need to throw the bag at a lot of players. So we can stick with first Myles Garrett. Where should we think he should go? And then from there we can move on. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, whoever's willing to give up 3 firsts and a second or whatever, I
Yeah,
mean, he's gonna take a historic haul. Um, I mentioned it earlier. I think he would be sick on the Lions.
I agree.
Like, I mean, what are you gonna do there with Aiden, and then you have Miles on the other side? Like, that's gonna be absolutely devastating. Um, so him there, I think him um in Washington as well
Yeah, yeah,
would
yeah.
be sick. So, I mean, Miles Garrett is someone that you would love to have anywhere and everywhere, and obviously fits anywhere and everywhere because you just tell him go chase the quarterback, and we're gonna pay millions of dollars for it. So like he's gonna bolster any roster. It's just whether the Browns are actually gonna grant him that ability to get traded and be willing to do that,
Yeah.
and then who's gonna give him the bag or of as far as draft compensation, and then Miles is also gonna want a new contract too because I'm pretty sure his last 2 years now aren't guaranteed in his deal, so you're gonna have to give him a bag that way too. So um, yeah, I mean, whoever's willing and whoever the Browns are going to be willing to actually listen to and trade. So I doubt that they keep him or allow him to stay in the AFC. So I have to imagine to be somewhere in the NFC, and that's why I say the Lions or Commanders are probably the best bet.
One AFC team that I think could be sneaky is the Chiefs, even though they just went to the Super Bowl. They would have to give up. I mean, I wouldn't be upset at them trading like Isaiah Pacheco, another defensive piece for them. Maybe Travis Kelsey if they want to send him away. Like
Nah,
I don't
they
know.
wouldn't do that. Kelsey will retire before they trade him.
But he's
Like
from
I don't
Cleveland,
think. Yeah, yeah, I know
so
he is, but I don't think that. I think that Kelsey might be done and is gonna retire on his own,
mhm.
maybe. But I'd rather him kind of just stay because he's a little washed, so that's better for us. And then, um, I don't know if they do that, but as far as the Browns go, as far as the Chiefs go, I also like I think that they don't their owners aren't like actually super rich, so they don't like pay people like that.
Yeah.
And Miles wants to get paid. So I don't know if that's going to happen on that end either. So, but
Mhm.
like obviously if he went to the Chiefs, then that would be sick for them. I mean, you got Myles Garrett and Chris Jones. Again, you got pressure from the outside and now pressure in the middle. What the hell are you supposed to do against that? So
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be tough for sure.
So where do we think Shador Sanders, Cam Ward, and like Dylan Gabriel, where do we think they're gonna go? People are saying Shador to the Giants, so him and
I
Malik.
would love that.
I think that would
I
be
need
pretty
that.
cool. I'd like to see
I need
that.
that.
Um,
As a Malik Neighbors dynasty owner, I need Shador, if not Stafford, to the Giants.
that'd be cool. Yeah, yeah. And then
Like, I'd be blessed up.
what about like Cam Ward? I'm just trying to think of other teams that like need that franchise quarterback. I think
Yeah.
Bryce Young really proved himself the last like 7 games of the season. He played really
Yeah.
well, lost to the Chiefs in overtime, had some really close games and shootouts. So I think he's definitely bought himself another year.
Yep.
So
I agree.
they could go in and draft a quarterback, but I don't think I think Andy Dalton as the backup there has definitely been a good mentorship for him.
hmm
So Cam Ward, I maybe the
I
Steelers would
think
trade up or
Cam has
something.
ties to. I think there's ties already to the Browns with Cam.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Dwa is obviously garbage. So
Yeah.
like that's just bad there. I know in the last. Oh man, I it hurt my heart to hear myself in the our previous podcast when I was talking about all the Browns could get into the playoffs if D Watt's good, and D Watt's obviously not good. So that's just that's just bad. So they need to move on and get another quarterback. So I could see them drafting Cam Ward. I'm pretty sure the Titans are going to end up drafting that pass rusher from Penn State. I think his
Oh
name's like
yeah.
Abdul or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hope that happens because then that leads to Shador with the Giants, and I honestly think he'd be good with the Giants. Like for all that we shit on the Giants, I don't think that they're in that bad of a position.
Hmm.
Um, because I mean they had their rookie running back. I like him. I like Tracy, and obviously you have Malik Neighbors, who's a dog,
Yeah.
and then Theo Johnson, their rookie tight end. He's
Yep.
solid
Hmm.
too. You know they have issues on their O line that needs to be fixing, but guess what? Shador Sanders is like the most sacked quarterback in college and the most hit quarterback in college, and
Yep.
he's still the most accurate. Had like 40 touchdowns or whatever. So he's used to getting destroyed, right?
Hmm.
Like he's tough as hell. But that's no excuse. Like you still want to like build an O line
Yeah,
around him,
for sure.
obviously. But I'm just saying, like he's proven that he's able to be successful in a dirty pocket, or and be hit and get back up, sort of thing. So I think he'd be good out there. So again, for my Malik neighbor stock, I need it.
Yeah.
but um, but yeah, so I think Cam goes to the Browns, and then Shadir goes to the Giants.
And then Travis Hunter to New England.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably that. I think that fits. I mean, I'm interested to see what really happens with him positionally. Like if they're really going to let him play receiver
No chance.
as well. I don't
Maybe
know,
a
man.
few, but not not like he was in college.
Yeah, not full time. I saw reports of like, or not really reports, but listening to people talk about it where, you have packages for these type of guys.
Yeah.
So, he'll be like a third down sort of receiver out there. But I mean, he's definitely electric with the ball in his hands, man. So it's also
Yeah.
like you want him out there. Like you want him to be able to impact the game. So again, it'll be interesting to see how that breaks down. But I mean, him. next to what's the dude's name? The other corner for the Patriots. I know his last name is Gonzalez. I don't know his first name. I don't remember
Chris?
his
No,
first name.
he was number 0. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Is it
but
Chris Gonzalez?
he's a stud. So then having him on the other end, like you got two lockdown corners on rookie deals, so that's huge. And then they have the top cap space in the freaking league
Yeah.
at 100 million or something like that, which is insane. So that's another possible landing spot for T Higgins. Um, so the Patriots could turn themselves around pretty quick with some of the opportunities that they have there.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think he ends up going to the Patriots. Yeah,
Christian Gonzalez. So I was
Christian.
sort of right there. Um, so real quick before we get into like our quarterback discussion, like I said, I won my fantasy football league. So I have a belt.
It hurts my heart that I didn't, bro. It hurts my heart that I didn't.
I have a belt. So our league has been we started in 2020, but the first year was like 6 of us. So, and then after that, then I became commissioner because
Hmm.
my friends were like not organizing anything. So I became the commissioner. So 2021, I won, and then I went back to back. And then last year I lost. Didn't even make the playoffs. I lost, and then this year I won. So I kind of got a
Nice.
dynasty. I want to see if I can turn my camera and show you my belt here. Let's see. Boom. Let's go, baby.
Nice.
So
Good for you. I
I
hate
just
you. Good
wanted
for you.
just wanted to show it off, have to. Had to.
Yeah. Dude,
um
like I'm telling you, bro, I need you to hear this, okay?
Go ahead.
So I take on an orphan dynasty team. So, it's somebody else's. It's literally dog water. It's such a bad team. It was so I had the second to last pick, or the second. I had this number 2 overall pick going into last year's draft. So that goes to show you that the team was really bad. And I come in, I trade like all my picks, and I transform the team. Like my starting quarterback was Russell Wilson when I first took over. My starting tight end, I don't even remember the guy. Oh, Logan Thomas, who I don't think is on a roster anymore. Like my starting running backs, I had Pacheco and then somebody else who I don't remember now. And then my receivers, well, I had a good foundation of receivers of Drake London and Garrett Wilson and Chris Godwin actually. And then obviously he got hurt, so that went to shit. But I transformed this team, bro, from being the second worst team to I should have won the championship if I played Malik Neighbors. I was wheeling and dealing. First thing I did, I took over this team. I traded for Joe Burrow and Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts didn't really work out. Joe Burrow's a stud. I ended up trading for Josh Jacobs. I traded for Brees Hall. I traded for Devontae Adams. Like I'm telling you, my team, I did some work
Man.
out here. All right? Yeah, I'm definitely GM of the year. And then the season ended, and instead of being like, we'll get him next year because I could have won the championship, what I do? I trade for T. Higgins and Christian McCaffrey because I'm nice like that.
Let's go.
So,
Let's go. Yeah, in my
yeah,
in my league, so I had as my quarterback I had Lamar, which was obviously
nice.
huge. And I think I had like the 7th or 8th pick or something. So I had Lamar, I had James Cook who
Went
went
crazy.
crazy. I had Derrick Henry, so
Also went crazy.
also went crazy. And then at receiver, I had like Garrett Wilson. I had Rasheed Rice, but he ended up, getting like
Yeah,
not even playing this season. So I had to let him
or
go.
his LCO
Yeah,
or
and
PCO, I
then
think. Yeah,
um for tight end, my tight ends were like cooked. Like I had like Tyler
yeah,
Conklin. I was going in and out between a couple other guys. And then I was like, yo, Johnny's kind of picking up. So I picked up Johnu and
yeah.
he helped me the back half of the season.
Yep.
And then for kicker, I
I
think I
did
had
I did
like
the same thing because I had Kyle Pitts, and Kyle Pitts gave me like a goose egg one week, and I was pissed. I'm scoring through. I was like, Jonnu, he may be kind of nice. Like they're starting to use him a little bit, so I picked him up, and he helped me get to the championship too.
I actually had Kyle Pitts when he went off that one game for like 30 points or whatever. He had like 2 touchdowns against the Bucks. So
Yeah,
that's who I had. I had Tyler Conklin, I had Kyle Pitts, and then I ended up dropping like both of them for Johnu. So I ended up going 12-1 in the regular season because it's a 12-man league. So
Yeah.
I clinched the first round bye, win, and then go to the championship. I win by 0.28 points.
Oh no.
So here's what happened. Right?
No.
So I was going to set my lineup, and I was thinking, like, who should I start? I had like Westbrook Akine, and then I think it was like Garrett Wilson or something. And Garrett Wilson had been giving me no points, but Westbrook Akine has been getting like a touchdown every week, like one catch, a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to start Westbrook. And then I'm like, you know what? For the first time in my life, I'm going to listen to fantasy. And I'm just going to let it auto like my roster. So then it switches Akine to the bench and then Garrett Wilson to the starting. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm going to just leave it. And I had Jonnu, and Jonnu ended up going for like 15, 17 points, whatever. And then I had the Bills defense. And that week they're playing the Patriots. Because, they're playing the Patriots. And my friend that I'm playing against, he picks up the Atlanta Falcons defense 4 minutes before. And they end up going for like 29 fantasy points because they had a pick six, fumble recovery, allowed like 10 points. And I was like, no way. So my friend's talking all this shit, like, bro, you suck. Number 1 seed, 12-1 for nothing, da da da. Then later that night, I didn't even look at fantasy because I was, at this point, I was down 50 points. I'm like, it's over. So then later that night, I check. I'm like, oh my God, I'm now winning by 1 point. And I have the Bills defense. So if you remember, it was the Bills versus the Patriots. And at one point, the Patriots had like 8 plays from like the 1 yard line. And they kept stopping the Patriots, the Bills, but they kept getting flags or false starts or whatever.
Yeah.
So they had like 9 attempts and they finally ended up scoring a touchdown. So the reason I say that is because I had the Bills defense and they had only allowed, I believe it was 10 points. Or no, it was 10 points. So if the Patriots hold them to a field, or if the Bills hold them to a field goal, I don't lose any points because in my league, if you're a defense and you give up between 14 and 17 points, you lose an additional point.
Yeah.
So they ended up scoring the touchdown. So I end up losing a point, and I end up losing by 0.78 points or 7.2 points. So I end up losing the championship. Next morning, my boy checks. He ends up sending a screenshot. Wait, Chris won the championship? And I check. I'm like, let's go! Stat correction. I end up winning by a stat correction. So listen. It was a half a sack. So I guess because how it works in the NFL is if when you're a defensive player, you have to go turn in your sacks. You have to like write which ones you got. You turn it into the front office, and then they submit it to the NFL. So I got a stat correction. I got an extra half a sack. I already had like 2.5 sacks. So that half a sack bumped me to 3 sacks, which is a full sack and a full point. So it flipped and I won.
That's crazy, bro. I probably would never play fantasy again if I'm your boy. Like I would be sick. I would throw my phone through a wall. Like I'm moving to Cambodia. Like no.
I was talking so much shit to him because I was like, you mother effer, you were talking all this shit. I'm going to give it back. I don't care if it's a stat correction. A win is a win. I won 3 chips in 4 years. Suck it easy. Let's go.
Crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I would have been devastated, bro. I would have been devastated.
Oh my god.
And I do the same thing. I'd talk straight cash to him after he was talking shit to me. So you did the right thing.
Yeah. All right, so now let's get our top 15 quarterbacks for this last season. All right.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm gonna own. I was wrong on Kirk Cousins. I was. Oh. It's as simple as it was. There's no way running from it. Mm-hmm. So I have your list from last season and my list from last season. I'll give your list from last season first, and then I'll let you give yours for this season, and then we'll do the same for me. So for yours, Patrick Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 2, Joe Burrow at 3, Lamar Jackson at 4, CJ Stroud at 5, Jordan Love at 6, Justin Herbert at 7, Matthew Stafford at 8, Aaron Rodgers at 9, Dak Prescott at 10. At 11, you had Brock Purdy. 12 was Jalen Hurts. 13, Jared Goff. 14 is Tua, and 15 was Kirk Cousins.
Interesting. Yeah, I got Kirko down to 25 now.
I didn't even go that deep. He's not even on my 15. So,
I didn't mean to. I just kind of just kept going. Yeah, I mean, no surprise. The top four are still the same.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I made a sick list. I think. I mean, granted, the biggest issues with my list is for sure what happened with CJ and Love. I do think though, being the genius that I am, I said depending on if they play at the level that they were at. I think for Love, I said for sure, like if he's at the level he was the second half of the year, then he's this. And then for CJ, I was like, if he's continuing this trend going into next year, like this is this. So I was definitely kind of wrong at where they're at because I don't have them in those same spots this year after this season. I still have Mahomes at one.
Okay.
I mean, I will say I have a question mark on it, just because he didn't win the Super Bowl. So it's like it's kind of like when you win the Super Bowl, everything's forgiven,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But like when you look at his stats this year, his stats are like not that they're bad necessarily, but he's not in the top five
Yeah.
statistically by any means. But I'm still gonna say, okay, Mahomes, you're still number one.
Mhm.
I have Lamar two, then Burrow three, and Josh Allen the MVP at four.
Okay.
I'm gonna get myself in this rookie trap again
Let's go.
and put Jaden Daniels five.
Let's go.
To be honest, so a hard thing for me was trying to figure out exactly where Bo was in this. So I have Bo further down the list. I
Mhm.
wanted to put him higher, but I was like, look, you got to be objective here.
Mhm.
So I have Bo in the top 15. We'll get there in a second, but then I go Baker six,
Wow.
Shake and Bake.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put Shake and Bake six, Stafford seven, Goff eight, and then Hurts nine. And that absolutely is a Super Bowl bump. Like
Okay.
I put Hurts at nine after the Super Bowl. Um, Jay Herbo, put him 10. Sam Darnold 11.
What? Wait. Wait. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sam
Yeah,
Darnold, the ghost
yeah,
seeing mono.
yeah. I
Oh.
mean,
Okay. Okay.
he had a crazy year though, like he did.
Okay. He did.
I mean, he's top five in yards. He's top five in touchdowns. He's top five in passer rating. Right, like he had a hell of a year.
Mhm.
Um, so I put Darnold 11, then Bo at 12.
Okay.
But if you want to argue that Bo is higher, I'm not going to stop you. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay.
If you want to make that argument. So Bo 12, then Jordan Love 13. I put Kyler Murray 14, and then Purdy 15.
Wow. You did. You definitely shook up your list. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude, Shake and Bake went crazy. Like I thought, like he did good the year before too, but I was like, it could be a 1 year thing. He's losing his OC, yada yada. I don't think he'll be able to repeat that. And he not only repeated what he did last year, he also did better than what he did
Mhm.
too. Like, dude, Shake and Bake is tough, bro. Like
Mhm.
he's an animal. So I'm finally here to give Baker the credit that I think he does deserve. So I put Shake and Bake six.
Wow. Okay. Go through your top 10 really quickly so I can listen to it one more time.
Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Allen, Jaden Daniels, Baker, Stafford, Goff, Hurts, and Jay Herbo.
Okay. Not bad. I like it. So we have the same top five, not in order, but the same top five. So Mahomes at one. I have
Oh, you
Burrow.
put Jaden Daniels in five?
I did. I did.
Oh, animal. All right,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
I didn't want to, but I was watching his film and I got to.
Dude, he's cold.
Yeah.
He's cold. So like he's a killer. He's cold blooded. Like he cashes out
Hmm.
right when the game's on the line. I mean, when you think about all the fourth down conversions that they go for all the time, it's because of the amount of faith they have
Yeah.
in him. Like dude's a killer. So yeah, he's an animal.
Yeah. And like last year, oh, first I got to give you my last year. Oops. Forgot to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So last year was I only did down to 12 for last year. Mahomes at 1, Burrow at 2, Josh Allen at 3, Aaron Rodgers at 4. Again, I said I emphasized when fully healthy, and he
Yep.
definitely got fully healthy the back end of the season. 5 is Brock Purdy, 6 Lamar, 7 Matthew Stafford, 8 Kirk Cousins, 9 Jared Goff, 10 CJ Stroud, 11 Jordan Love, and 12 Dak Prescott. Um, so, and last year, like, because you had CJ Stroud at 5, and last
I
last year
did.
when we were talking, I was like, I just need to see more. But this year, Jaden Daniels just looks just better, and he's
Incredible,
just
bro.
processing at such a high level.
Yeah.
All right, so
He's incredible.
Mahomes at 1, Joe Burrow at 2, Lamar Jackson at 3, Josh Allen at 4, and Jaden Daniels at 5. So we have the same top 5, just switching Joe Burrow and
Yep.
Lamar. At 6, I have Jared Goff. At 7, I have Matthew Stafford. At 8, I actually have Jordan Love.
Whoa. Okay.
At 9, I have Brock Purdy. I still think he's a great quarterback. That's that's just my opinion. At 10 is Jalen Hurts, and I agree with you because you had Jalen Hurts at 9.
Yeah.
So I think Super Bowl definitely bumps him up. At 11, I have Baker. At
Damn, at 11?
I love Baker though. I love Baker. I love Baker.
Yeah.
I just think he struggles when it comes to turning the ball over a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie. Like how many
You know
interceptions did
who
he
else
have?
does? He had 16 interceptions. He had 41 touchdowns,
Yeah, yeah.
16 interceptions. Then Jared Goff, who you have over him, is 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So like, you know, they're they're right by each other as far as interceptions, and
Mhm.
Baker's got more TDs. So I like Baker more than Goff. But go ahead.
So 11 was Baker. 12 is Justin Herbert. 13 CJ Stroud. Don't like doing this. I'm not gonna lie. From like 13 to 15, I was like, bro, who do I even put here? Like, I don't even care anymore at this point. So don't depict this too much and think about it too much.
So
13
you want
though.
to tell me Bo Nix?
Well, hold up. Well, to be honest, after Justin Herbert, I was just like, I don't know who to put like after. Like I was thinking Sam Darnold. I just didn't know who to put. But 13 CJ Stroud,
Yep.
14 is Tua, and 15 is Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. So, but
15?
but here's
Come
it.
on, give my boy Bo some love.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like he is a rookie, and I still need to see more. But it wasn't to
Yeah.
the point of Jaden Daniels and how much he excelled. Now that's not to say I think Bo Nix played very well this season, and in my opinion, should have been the runner up for MVP or offensive or
Rookie of the
rookie of the year. I don't know who the runner up was. I didn't look at the votes, but he definitely had a quiet season that no one was really talking about because Jaden Daniels obviously took his team to the NFC Championship game. But he played well. He played really well. Like you said, I was following him when I was doing my quarterback rankings. I was talking about him. So that's not to say I think he's bad. I definitely think he's an above average quarterback as I have him at 15. So I excluded Dak from my list because he was injured, and Aaron Rodgers
Same.
because I just don't know if he's going to play, and I don't think he's top 15. If based on the back half of the season, I'd probably put him at like 16, 17. That's probably where I would put him. Um,
I actually have Rodgers at because I went all the way down to 25 just because I did. I have Rodgers at 17. So
nice. Okay. The only guy I didn't have on my list that you did was Sam Darnold. It was a one time season. I got to see it again because he was. I know it was with the Jets and it wasn't the greatest, but when the time came to shine in the playoffs, he shit the bed. So we'll see.
so Jared Goff.
Yeah, he did. He did. But
He
his
did
defense also gave
absolutely.
up what, like 40 something, 50 points. So
All right, but Goff also threw 4 interceptions, and I think at least one of them was a pick six.
yeah, but
Like
they were still in the game
we
though.
I mean, we can't give Mahomes say like Mahomes, in his interceptions or turnovers led to 17 points and not do the same math for Goff and his 4 interceptions, not including I'm pretty sure he had a fumble in there too. So,
Mhm.
he had 5 turnovers. So, by the way, Brock Bowers finished second in Rookie of the Year
Brock
voting.
Bowers. Okay. Yeah.
Should have been Bo. Tried my boy Bo,
No,
but it's
I,
okay.
I
Bo
like
knows.
Brock. Brock, he finished. He broke like a record that was like 40, 50
Yeah,
years old. Is
he had a nuts
demon,
he had a nuts season,
demon.
so he's good.
So I
Yeah, yeah.
think I think our lists are good. I don't think there's a lot of controversies behind it. Whereas like for me, the controversy last year was your CJ Stroud at 5, and then mine obviously was Kirk Cousins and Lamar. How that was. So there's no running from that.
Dude, Lamar. Yeah, would you have Lamar at again last year?
6,
6. Yeah, no, that's terrible.
but you had him at 4.
Okay,
Just his
all
two
right.
spots. That's I mean the
No,
way I
but
look
that's
at
not
it,
the
it's still right
same
there.
because no, because there's a difference. Because it's like S tier we were talking about is Mahomes, then
Yeah.
A tier is 2 to 4, and then 5 through whatever is like B tier.
Hmm.
Lamar is not a B tier; he's definitely an A tier
Fair enough.
quarterback.
Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
nah, no, you're crazy for that one.
But I like our list. I think we have a lot of
Yeah,
quarterbacks. I don't mind Baker that high. I genuinely don't. Um, but yeah, I think our lists are good. I'm surprised you dropped Jordan Love to where you dropped him. You put him at what, 12, 11,
13.
13? I'm surprised you
Yeah,
dropped him that far.
yeah. I mean, when you look at what he did this year, like where's his numbers at? I'm looking at touchdowns. Like he finished top 5 in touchdown or top 10 in touchdowns with 25. He had 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but he was wildly inaccurate this year,
Yeah, it
right? He had
was.
63% completion percentage, um, 69 QBR, which, it's okay. It's nothing crazy. Let me see what
I think that's like
QBR
top.
puts him at.
That's like top 5.
It is actually number 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that's up there.
I
That's
don't
that's
know.
good.
It's just when you looked at Jordan Love, I think that they got better when they were running the ball a lot, so keeping the ball out of his hands. Granted, maybe some of his deficiencies could have came to because of injury because he had that knee sprain. I just think that he missed a lot of layups and he was kind of forcing shit a lot. So it's funny because I have a lot of Packer fans that I follow, so I see Packers Twitter, and it's like with Jordan Love, some quarters you get Aaron Rodgers, and some quarters you get Brett Favre,
Yeah.
right? So like
Hmm.
that inconsistency there is why I dropped him a lot. It was more so he wasn't last year he had that back half of the year where it was for a
Crazy.
full like 8 to 10 games, he was balling out.
Hmm.
Where this year it was like this game, like I said, he's going to be Aaron Rodgers and ball out, and this game is going to be Brett Favre and have a bunch of turnovers, sort of thing. So I mean, they had a pretty decent defense too, so I don't feel that he needed to be pushing the ball as much as he was or putting it in danger as much as he was.
Hmm.
So that's kind of why I dropped him is because of a lot of the inconsistencies.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that was something to pick last year, but last year when you put Jordan Love at 6 and I dropped him at 11, I remember you were like, "Why are you dropping him so low?" I feel like I
Yeah,
have this same criteria for quarterbacks where I need to see you do it again. And Jordan Love, don't get me wrong, last season, like you said, back half of the season, played extremely well. Went into the playoffs. We know what he did against the Cowboys, and then almost was a game away from going to the NFC Championship game, or a play away, bearing the
yeah,
interception that he threw. But I liked him. I thought he was great, but I still needed to see it again. And now talking with you, I probably would drop him maybe to like 10, maybe 11, maybe right above Baker. Because I still think, like you said, the inconsistencies are there. And uh, the term my friend Adam likes to use is he likes to play hero ball sometimes.
yeah.
So I definitely see that a
That's
little
that
bit.
Brett Favre ball.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
that Brett
So,
Favre ball. So
yeah.
yeah, and that thought process of like wanting to see it again and you see it again, that's really what gave me the Baker Mayfield jump.
Ah, okay.
So
Fair.
like again, I said he balled last year, and I guess I wrongfully still had that thought in my head of Cleveland Baker or Carolina Baker,
Mhm.
and then he was like, oh, he had one good year with Tampa. I was like, I didn't think he was going to continue it, and then this year he did even better than
Yeah,
he did last year.
for
So
sure.
yeah, I had to bump Baker up. Yeah, I mean he went from 28 touchdowns in 2023 to 41
Hmm.
this last year. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's that guy. So I had to put Shake and Bake up there.
Yeah, when I was making my list, I was moving guys around and I was thinking, man, I don't know where to put some of these guys. But now I feel like after talking with someone and just getting another point of view, I definitely would move a couple guys around. I think I would keep my top 15 the same, but I would definitely move a couple spots. So I'm happy with my list.
Yeah, bro, give my boy Bo some love, bro.
Yeah.
Bump him up to like 12 or something,
Eh.
just for the vibes. Come on.
Why not number one then, you know?
I mean, you said it. You said it. I didn't say it, but I'm not gonna argue it.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. There was one more thing on the list that I did not send to you,
Oh, okay.
and that is blind quarterback rankings. So you know how I do my blind quarterback
Yeah.
rankings. I wanted to do
Yep.
one together with you.
Okay.
So let's minimize this right here. I won't be able to share since I do it on my phone on TikTok, but
Yep.
let me pull it up here, and I'll make sure to screen record it so that way the viewers can see it. Oh shoot! Actually, hold on, I gotta find it. Oops. Go to my profile. Have you done one of these before, or you just
Nope. I
no?
just watched you.
Just watch that. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, let me
Here we go.
screen record before I forget. All right. Okay, we're recording. All right. First one is going to be Matthew Stafford.
Put him 5.
5, 6. Okay. 5. I like that. Caleb Williams. I'm probably thinking like 8 or 9 here.
I'm good with 8. Put him 8. Put him 8.
Well, let's think. What quarterbacks are worse?
There's a lot. I'd say. I think. Let's just. Yeah. Let's put him 8.
Okay. Let's do 8. Okay.
Damn. I'm regretting that now.
CJ Stroud.
10.
10?
Yeah.
Well,
feel like
okay. Hold on. So the way I do my list is like one
you
is the
wanna give
best.
yourself
And
some room. Yeah.
well, 1 is the best and 10 is the worst. Not like top 10 in the NFL.
Yeah. I
10?
feel like
I gotta put him at
Yeah.
7. I gotta put him at 7.
7.
Yeah.
All right. Put him at 9 at least. I don't think that.
You think
Dude,
Caleb Williams is
put him
better
in-
than CJ Stroud?
Yeah. Right. I mean, no, because we have CJ at or I think Caleb. Just put him 9, bro. Trust me. Just put him 9.
9?
Yeah.
What if we get worse quarterbacks?
We're gonna get Russell Wilson and we're gonna put him in 10. I'm telling you, it's
Bro,
what's gonna happen.
I just can't. I gotta put him at 7. Fine. So last time you put Caleb at 8, I wanted him 9. So now we'll do my.
All right. I'll compromise.
Yeah. Michael Penix.
Ooh, animal. 1. No, I'm just playing. Let's put him
9?
like 7.
7? Oh,
Yeah.
CJ's at 7. CJ's at 7.
Damn it. All right. I'll put him 9. Fine.
Okay.
I like Penix. Pause.
Bryce Young. So we have 10 open, 6 open, and then 1 through 4.
6.
Okay, I agree. Come on, give us some studs. Lamar Jackson. Do we just want to put him at 1?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we never know what quarterbacks we're gonna get next. Oh God, Anthony Richardson.
10.
Okay, 10. I agree. Come on. Oh, Trevor Lawrence. 4? Because we have 2, 3, and 4 left.
Then yeah. This is tragic.
Okay. Now, if we would have, well, actually, never mind. Come on. Oh, Drake May.
He's a stud. So
3?
I'll put him at 3. I mean, we don't have a choice. I'm not gonna put him at 2.
2 is Kyler Murray.
Oh God, this was like the worst I've ever seen.
Well, it's funny because like I'll make these lists
all mid quarterbacks.
Exactly, and that's why I put CJ Stroud at 7. Because if we would have dropped him at 9, we would have been putting like other quarterbacks at like 7 and higher. So
yeah,
that's the thing about the blind rankings is it's fun because like I'll make a list and it's god awful, and people be like, "Why did you put CJ Stroud at 2?" It's like I didn't know I was gonna get Bryce Young and Trevor Lawrence. Like, dude, come on. So that's what's so good about them. Is like sometimes you can just get really horrible ones like that with mid quarterbacks,
Yeah,
or you can just get the perfect list. So
should have just put Penix at 3.
honestly, right? honestly. So
Cool.
all right,
Well,
well that's all I had. That was really fun. Is there anything you want to kind of talk about before we sign it off? Any other topics?
uh, no, I think we hit on a lot. So
We did. We
we
did.
hit on a lot. So yeah, I think we're all good. And as always, it's always a lot of fun. So
Absolutely.
yeah, happy to come on. So thanks for inviting me again.
Yeah, I'll get you on after like free agency and everything again, like before the season starts, maybe like August around there. Come
Okay.
back on, do some more rankings, and by then free agency and trades
Yeah.
and the draft will have already been done, so we can
Cool.
recap there.
Have our fantasy drafts then too. So
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
W.
Well, all right,
Cool,
Anthony,
Brody.
thank you so much for your time. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And as always, I'll see y'all next video. Peace. Boom.